Hi everyone, I'm Abby and welcome to Ace Attorney Investigations. Now this is a Ace Attorney spin-off, centered around Miles Edgeworth instead of Phoenix Wright this time. And I've already played the first original 3 games in the Phoenix Wright trilogy, so yeah. I figured I'd do chronological order and stuff like that because this takes place after Trials and Tribulations, I believe. Let's get started now. Yeah. Gameplay's also a bit different, as you'll see. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Yeah, doing the Phoenix Wright thing of like showing who the bad guy is right off the bat, yeah. So we know, but the characters don't. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. Hope Detective Gumshoe's been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. Door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve, committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Edgeworth is so awesome, isn't he? My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective for the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ack! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed. I'll say. Culprit subtly my floor with the dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mine into my office. Oh, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, it's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. My first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. I must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? I get the nagging feeling this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? Finding the connection between two pieces of information, connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall the information we've gathered with Q, then I connect them together with T. Now, to use Q, we recall the facts. Just like a little tutorial area, yeah. Kind of like all the rest of the games. Yeah, like I said, the gameplay's different in this game. Yeah. Gets more difficult as you go on, though, yeah. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. Must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, information doesn't line up properly and may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing the leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I use space when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use T, okay? I'll give you great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later at free time, I suppose. Yeah. One thing different about this game is the fact that it's not just visual novel style. You can actually walk around in it and stuff. I mean, it's visual novel, but its gameplay is different, like I said. Yeah. Finished photographing the body, so we should be alright to examine this area. And what must have expected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. When he says that, that means he's about to start investigating like this, yeah? See? What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh hey, I have the exact same thing actually. What a coinkydink. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It appears that our victim was a detective, just like you. Yeah. Let's see here. Splat all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep. Until the autopsy is done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Yeah. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. Keep all the events I find either in or with my organizer. Now, much to re-examine a piece, I'm about to press E to open my organizer. The organizer isn't only for evidence. Keep people's profiles on hand in it too. Probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. The files all over the floor, sir. Probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this rendered all the time and effort put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I water the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. Just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day, every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place till it sparkled. Does he have a life? Really should be more grateful, Edgeworth. I mean, I'd be grateful that I wouldn't have to spend all that time cleaning my office, yeah. Besides, with all those pay cuts you give him, of course he's not going to have much of a life outside of the precinct. Let's see. Yeah. Also a revolver here. What have we here? This perhaps be the murder weapon? So, I mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. I've soon gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense, it's his gun, so yeah. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it belong to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see, what have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. Yeah, you can use the arrow keys to rotate an object. Such a thing as a bad angle. Use Q when you need to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. So it's kind of like Rise from the Ashes, which you can like examine stuff. Yeah, see? Yeah. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the victim with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. That's about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! Poor Gumshoe. Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. Investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here's my partner in crime, bustin'. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. Guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. Our prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. Not only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth's been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means? I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer. No, wait, pal, you got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation's only just begun. Isn't it true to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. Tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. Sure, my cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. Heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. And spend a little more time to say goodbye, Jim. You there. Sir. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. Final farewell to my partner, Jim. Should probably give them some space. Yeah. Yeah, investigation isn't quite done yet. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? Must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing around. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they got shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. And there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods and I'll conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bolt holds where the contradiction lies. When spots something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press T with conviction. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Only one shot fired, but one killed the victim and one also shot the jacket, so yeah. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. This means that one of these 2 bullet holes is fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. I think like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you can only move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusty. It's supposed to be what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here. I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. I only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Yeah. Yeah. Now this is odd. Found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Did you please test this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. As I thought. Appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. believe I figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. There's a possibility the fire splayed on the floor, not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. Gonna shelf files like you've never seen before, even in a library. I'm sure. Well, let's give this a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And, so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to the rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. Sure know a lot where things go, despite being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Ugh, blood stains on the bookshelf are still fresh. Suspecting the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. Then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. Ugh, but you know I'm not good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. So this is where the bullet lodged itself to went through the victim, huh? The bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit suspicious, isn't it? Because he was shot in the abdomen, but the bullet hole's kind of low. If he was standing, that is. There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mind, detective. Leave him alone. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. It's from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? Yeah, it'd have to be the order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here are the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them on my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. From this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? I finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. You please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. Killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. Files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Yeah. This? What is that? Why does it say gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity, indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me in my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling ya, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased here that your beloved partner is the guilty party. You're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit? I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. There must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Alright, first I'll listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I will organize with E, present the evidence contradictory evidence. Present something that simply use T, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in our testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, we need to press the witness with Q. Sometimes by pressing, you can draw out new information, and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Yeah, another part of the gameplay. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed with the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. It'll be his final words that you'll be brought to justice. We tend to argue the victim's dying message points to his killer. You can hear Jim's voice when he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. We'll find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Stolen file, so... yeah. There's a bit of a logic problem there. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, that there is a serious flaw in your logic. I'm bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? I thought a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. You have the time to laugh and you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, maybe I may direct your attention to the missing file. What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. And the killer wants to take the file after murdering your partner. I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the crime. I think it's pretty obvious the file was stolen after it was written on. Missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, there's only half an H. Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case. I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as the detective can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I Gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Man, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really don't want to have to bring this up. However, what is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That will be me. Mr. Edgeworth is proof that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why don't I sense that you still have something to say? Well, I was thinking. Did you know there was one other person with the key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was you, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. No need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird stuck into her room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then it leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows her good detective, doesn't she? Making another more probable, she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used a master key? Yeah. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Yeah.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night. Tonight, she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use a master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? I don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony. Don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? But you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal. Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad our luck is. Fortunately, I can't take this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agreed, Mr. Edgeworth. But... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. This is, as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. Can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. Only they know of them, though, so she couldn't have known at the safe.
Objection!
Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It's also by your luck we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a secret hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. It's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you... What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on those secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I only just told him too. Obviously, he was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. I always claiming the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you, Miss Maggie Bird? Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. The killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she got stumbled upon Jim and probably drawing his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No! I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Please. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why you had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole a master key. Pretty impossible for supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retreated from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's only made for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation was for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out! This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal. How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir... I have no choice to accommodate his request. For now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. That's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, and I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, here. Yeah. Similar but different to the main games, yeah. But an interesting beginning, isn't it? The first game is kind of interesting in that way. It's kind of convoluted a little bit, but it's still cool. Yeah, you'll see what I mean later. So yeah, thanks for watching. And feel free to like and comment and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Ko-Fi and Twitter/X. And then next episode, we'll be finishing up Turnabout Visitor. We already know who the bad guy is, but of course the characters don't know. So yeah, I hope you join me for that, and peace off.